Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello. So one of the conceits that I've tried to keep to during this decade-long process is pretend...
More than decade.
Yeah, no. Is pretend that I have not seen the episodes before, which has abjectly failed of late. But and I will try and get back to that. But I have to talk about the comparison between my memory of this episode from then and now. Because I remember watching this episode and thinking it was absolutely dire. I remember watching this episode and whether it was the culture shock of the new Doctor, whether it was where I was at in my life at that time. And I don't want to reflect on that too much, but I don't know where we were at, what was going on, but there was something not quite sitting with me.
Just had Humphrey.
Yeah, we had. That would be it. I was sleep deprived.
When was it on?
I can't remember, but we had just had Humphrey. Or I seem to remember, and I've not mentioned this to anybody in the house tonight, that there was some fearsome edits of this in the week before it was on because of some very unpleasant and unsavoury things that went on in the world. I will tell you more later. You can do your research. But whatever it was, I remember thinking this was an absolute dirge at the time, an embarrassment. And this wasn't an embarrassment. In actual fact, this was, at the very least, good. It may have been a bit better than good. But it was good. And that was such a delight to see tonight. So the run of delight at Capaldi continues. So first of all, we'll cover... It's so nice to see Clara being a little bit less sardonic. That's
sort of young and flirty and excited.
That sort of wide-eyed joy at travelling in the TARDIS. I think that's an integral part of being a companion. I think there are certain companions that could have done with a bit more of that. I might be discussing one of those in a video to come. But it was really lovely to see that. And of course, one of the subtexts of this story is her hero worship's the wrong word, but, the fact she looks up to the Doctor as being this hero and how, the connection between Robin Hood and the Doctor grows larger and larger as the years go on, let's be honest. So that that part of the story being told through Clara was an absolutely lovely thing. It's really nice to see Capaldi being able to play this grumpy version of the Doctor in a way that accentuates the comedy of that, because I don't think I clicked with that before. I don't think I clicked with the fact that, Capaldi's a brilliant actor. And again, I think this may have had something to do with the fact that I anticipated one thing and I didn't quite get it. And I wasn't quite deft enough and adept enough to switch. I was coming at it from the wrong angle. And in this, I think Capaldi does a beautiful job. And the interesting comparison here, I think, is with the Shakespeare Code. Because, the sort of relationship the Doctor has with the celebrity historical character is not massively dissimilar. But whereas Tennant has that sort of knowingness and that's, and he's sort of like level pegging and a sort of a ruefulness about it, Capaldi's just utterly exasperated with this guy that he thinks shouldn't exist. And that is joyous. I really, really enjoyed that. And I thought it was really good fun. I think the Sportscast do a great job. Did we find out who played?
I didn't look it up, but it was good.
It was really weird. He was good. But I kind of felt that, I'm not saying he was missing some star quality, but, Errol Flynn was referenced in this. And if you're going to evoke the spirit of Errol Flynn, then I kind of feel that the actor should come with a bit of Hollywood glamour. Maybe I'm missing something there, but that's fine. He did a great role. Oh, that's good. Ben Miller as the Sheriff of Nottingham played that beautifully well. I think his part was compromised by some of the edits that they made just prior to the episode being broadcast, which is a pity. But all the location work was absolutely glorious. It was silly, but charming. It was a fine, good episode of Doctor Who. And like I say, I think I missed the fact that what we've got here is a Doctor Who is finding his feet at being the Doctor, but not in a sort of vulnerable manner, in a sort of obstreperous, sort of cantankerous manner. And actually, now that I've recognised that, I'm really, really enjoying this period of Capaldi. Long may that continue. So, like I've said, a good episode. But given that I came into this tonight...
Humphrey was 6 weeks old.
There we go. Humphrey was 6 weeks old. We obviously had a bigger fish to fry at that time. But in a lovely comparison, Humphrey loved this tonight. He is completely on board with Capaldi, which is just great because that's just great. He's really got on board with it. Wynn's still not so sure, but I think she fancies Matt Smith too much, so there we go. Right, great times. Will I speak to you before Christmas? Maybe I will. Well, yes, maybe I will. If not, happy Christmas. Have a wonderful festive period. If you don't do Christmas, have a great have a great time. And peace and love to all of you. Farewell. Bye bye.